This program is brought to you by Waste Management of North County and Oceanside, who are dedicated to serving customers and community as a safe, comprehensive service provider, a good corporate citizen, and a responsible environmental steward. Think green, think waste management. The following program does not necessarily reflect the views, opinions, or policies of the City of Oceanside, its elected officials, KOCT, its board of directors, or staff.
Hi, welcome to Oceanside Spectrum. I'm your host, Elaine Swan. Well, fall is here and we are thrilled to have a great lineup of guests to take us through our show today. First, we have Leap to Success here to talk about the programs they offer to women right here in our community. REC will be on the show to speak about their programs and their fundraising event that's happening in November. The Fallbrook Land Conservancy will be in our studio to speak about their mission and their Village Green program. The Road Warrior Foundation will be here to talk about their free monthly adventures for injured military veterans and their upcoming Road Warrior ride trip. And finally, we have the Reins Therapeutic Riding Program stopping by to tell you about their organization and their 22nd annual fundraiser. So take a moment and get caught up with what's happening in North San Diego County, because Oceanside Spectrum starts now. Hi, welcome. Well, we are here with our very first guest, Dana Bristol-Smith. She is the Executive Director of Leap to Success, an empowerment organization for women. Dana, welcome to the show. So glad to have you here. Now, tell me just a little bit about Leap to Success and some of the work you all do.
Oh, thank you, Elaine, and it's great to be here. Well, Leap to Success is a women's empowerment organization, and we work with women who've overcome major challenges in their lives. Women who have been victims of domestic violence, women who are rebuilding their lives from homelessness, mental health challenges, recovery from substance abuse, women who have fallen on hard times and really had life interrupted.
And the great thing about what you do is that you don't just kind of hand someone a Band-Aid, but you really do empower these women with tools that they need in order to be successful. So tell me about some of the programs that you offer within your organization.
Sure. Well, the program that we offer most frequently is called Leap to Confidence. And it's a 7-week class, and we hold it up here in North County in Vista and also in downtown San Diego. And we serve this year probably 250 women.
Wow.
Will go through that program. It's over 7 weeks. And it's teaching skills that really help women to rebuild their self-esteem and their self-confidence, improve their communication skills, to ultimately become employed and self-sufficient.
Which is perfect, because it's just like that old adage, teach a man, give a man, food. You serve him one time, but teach him how to fish, and that'll last a lifetime. And so the skills you're providing will last a lifetime. Now, you are launching a new program at the top of the year. Tell me about that.
Sure. Well, my background before I started this nonprofit organization was providing corporate training. And I worked with executives, helping them develop their public speaking skills. And what I saw for women is when they built their confidence and were able to demonstrate it through public speaking, that they got raises, new opportunities, they broke through fears. And that's what led me to really ask the question, who are the women in our community that really need this confidence the most, where it will not only help them professionally, but personally.
That's true.
So the last 10 years has been this building process of empowering women in the community out of these very difficult circumstances. And what's happening now is we've been hearing from women who don't have those life experiences, but they need the confidence too. They're women who are starting their own businesses. They're stay-at-home moms who are coming back to work. And they are women working for organizations, but they don't know how to get to that next level. So what we've decided to do is take this really powerful curriculum that is helping women change their lives and now gear it towards those women who are starting their own businesses, who are working on their own, but know that they need more confidence in order to reach the goals that they have for their lives.
Oh, this is good. So how do women come to your organization?
Well, the women in the community that come to our programs are actually referred by organizations in the community, like here in North County. Center for Community Solutions, Women Resource Center, Operation Hope Vista, which is a homeless shelter. They're referred by a case manager or a therapist, somebody who's been working with them one-on-one, who sees that they're ready to take the next steps forward.
Right, and these are some of the strategic partners that you have in your journey. Yeah.
Exactly, and we also partner with local employers. And the employers come into the classrooms and they talk about what they look for in employees, opportunities that their companies have. There's a company here in Oceanside called Work Partners. They have physical therapy offices. They're one of the organizations that come in. County of San Diego comes into our classes. And giving our women, so not only the tools and skills, but the information for them to move forward.
Now tell me about Ruth, because there's just an incredible success story. Tell us about Ruth.
She really is. Ruth came to us in 2009, and she was a participant in our leadership program. She was living at the YWCA shelter. She had escaped an abusive relationship and was having to start over from nothing.
Okay.
Today, what that success story is Ruth is an instructor on our team.
Wow.
And she stands at the front of the classroom and she looks at the women who are now there their first day and says, you know what I did, you can too. And I'm going to show you how. So we have incredible women, actually 3 women on our instruction team who are graduates of our programs, and they work alongside our professional senior instructors, and they share their lived experience. They share how they move forward.
That's what really resonates with individuals. So for people who are interested in learning more about your organization, maybe even donating to your organization, just tell us quickly how we can get in contact with you.
Well, you can email me directly at dana@leap2success.org, or you could visit our website, leap2success.org.
Very good. Well, Dana, thank you so much. Thank you for the work you're doing, and thank you for taking your time, your expertise, and your talent, and then using it to better our community, and most especially the women right here in our community.
Thank you, Elaine.
Thank you. All right, well, we are going to take a very quick break, and then we'll be right back.
This is the story of a boy who is very sensitive to lights and sounds. So he built secret hiding places where nothing could get in. The boy didn't like looking people in the eye. It made him feel uncomfortable. One day, he found out he had something called autism. His family got him help, and slowly, he learned how to live with it better.
Early intervention can make a lifetime of difference. Learn the signs at autismspeaks.org.
Hi, welcome back. Well, we are here with the Executive Director of REC, Eddie Garcia, and he's here to tell us a little bit about his organization and how it can change your life and the way you do things. Welcome to the show, Eddie. Glad to have you here. So first of all, tell me what REC is, R-E-C. Tell me what that is.
Hi, Elaine. Thanks for having us on here. REC stands for Regenerative Education Centers.
Okay.
Regenerative Education Centers are centers that we have set up Hawaii and here in California, Southern California, and they serve as a point of demonstration for innovative technology that sort of promotes regenerative lifestyles.
Okay.
And we talk about regenerative, we talk about agricultural usually, and we're talking about things that leave a place better than what they started with, to actually regenerate the soil as growing food. It's often used in that term, but we also kind of focus a little bit more on regenerative solutions as well as just beyond just agriculture.
And you actually have some real solutions that folks can come up with. Some are not so mainstream, but still very effective, yes?
Yeah, we do have a few things going. It's about pointing some solutions out rather than all the doom and the gloom.
Right.
Let's find some answers and get people to work with us with it.
Okay, and so one of those solutions is using the beetle larvae, right? Tell me about that.
Yeah, we're asked about this a lot. So we've basically taken a type of beetle larva, and we started out using it to compost wood chips and food scraps for some of the regenerative agriculture stuff that we do. Turns out that they actually ate their way through a styrofoam container, and we realized that they were able to ingest styrofoam and actually turn it back into an organic material.
Really?
Yeah, so we've developed a process. It's not simply the beetle larva, it's actually mycelium, it's different creatures as well as earthworms, and there's a whole process that we've developed that we can actually bring it from a styrofoam cup or a surfboard, for instance, and bring it full circle into a rich organic matter that we can actually grow other materials with.
That's incredible.
Yeah, it's
That's
pretty
incredible.
amazing, the implications. Perhaps it can be one of the solutions to take on some of the problems that are facing us.
And there's some things that we can do as individuals, correct? What are some habits that we can kind of break or start to make that are helpful?
So let's think about when we get coffee every morning. Quite a
Okay.
bit of people are headed to a coffee shop.
Sure.
500 million coffee cups a day, disposable coffee cups.
500 million.
500 million a day. 500 million lids and 500 million straws is an average statistic for how much actual styrofoam is being produced just by one simple habit that we can change by bringing our own cup. Or using a stainless steel straw, for instance.
Sure.
And so educating people and letting them know that some of the little steps that we can make that'll make huge change, that's part of what we do and what we share with people.
And so what are some of the ways you go about educating folks, aside from, of course, coming here and talking and sharing this, but of course, you definitely want to make sure that you're getting the word out to people. What are some of the different ways you do this?
So we do a lot of hands-on demonstration workshops. We do farm-to-table dinners. We also, as we're going through the process of demonstrating and experimenting with some of these innovative ideas, we share them and we document them. We make a series of short films that we set out there and get out to the public so that we can make people aware.
Right.
So we can basically serve local communities with the demonstration centers, which are targeted to go all over the world, and they can make changes by the things they actually see happening, and they can, if they can't get to one of our centers, they can watch the films that we make, and that can helpfully inspire them and help them.
To make those changes. And so where can we find the films? Because you've got some really great footage.
So I believe some of them may be played on your show later on, but
Yes.
there are different places to find them. The best way to go about it is to contact us at recenters.org.
Okay.
That's our nonprofit website. And you can get a hold of us there.
Oh, perfect. Very good, very good. And with that being said, so I think the idea is for us to really start to think about ways to make sure, like you said, that we're replenishing the earth and not just taking from it, but we have to make sure that we're leaving something behind for generations to come. And this is a great way to start. Is that correct?
Yeah, I think so. I think just making people aware. We have key fundamental sort of things that we keep repeating ourselves in, and it's basically patience, observation, and consistency. And a lot of people say, I don't have a green thumb, I have a black thumb. Well, it's not true. Everybody has a green thumb.
Okay.
And we can all be that change that we want to see.
Right. Well, how can people support your organization?
They can support our organization by going to our website. We have a donation button on there.
Oh, good.
They can come to beach cleanups and styrofoam drives that we do. They can come to some of the fundraisers that we hold and take part in a farm-to-table dinner workshops and watch some of our film releases.
Sure. Yeah, that'll be great. And of course, they can find out your entire schedule just by visiting your website, right?
Yeah, they can. That's the easiest way to go about what we have going on
Okay.
here. We have a fundraiser coming up in November on the 4th, and that is going to be at the Viewpoint Brewery in Del Mar.
All right.
In North County here?
Yes, yes, perfect, very good. All right, so and is that event, do we need tickets to go to that event?
That will be a ticketed event,
Good.
but you could probably also show up at that event. I think details will be made a little bit clearer
Right.
on our website, which is recenters.org.
Okay, perfect, very good. Well, Eddie, thank you so much, and thank you for educating us. I'm so excited about this. This is really good. Can't wait to see some of the films.
Cool, right on. Well, thanks for having us.
All
Really
right,
stoked. to
we'll
be
see
here.
you again soon, right?
Yeah, we will. For sure.
Absolutely.
love
All
it.
right, we'll be right back.
Use motor oil or cocktail or toxins. Dispose carefully, you got lots of options. Never the trash, the drain, or the ground. That's insane and it ain't safe and sound. Oceanside is a zero waste city. Oceanside is a zero waste city. Oceanside is a zero waste city. Oceanside is a zero waste city.
Recycle used oil and filters at certified collection points in Oceanside. For locations, see greenoceanside.org.
Hi, welcome back. We are here with our next guest from the Fallbrook Land Conservancy, the chairperson, Susan Liebes. Welcome to the show. Glad to have you here.
Thank you for having me.
All right. Well, very good. So tell me about the Conservancy that's here in Fallbrook.
Well, the mission of the Fallbrook Land Conservancy is to preserve the rural nature of our area by permanently protecting open space.
And that's important because of all of the road construction that's been going on for the last several years, going through, you know, the 76 and onto the 15. So I'm sure that most certainly you've been looking at some of these areas. Is that correct?
Yes, yes. The road development, housing development, all of that. We need houses, we need roads, but we also need places to recreate. We need places for wildlife and plants to grow. So our goal is to protect the places that need to be protected and then develop the places where it's appropriate.
And how do you go about making a determination as far as, you know, what areas should be protected and how do you make those
That's a
decisions?
good question.
Yeah.
Well, we look at the habitat value, what kind of plants and animals are using the area. If it's something that might have a rare plant or rare animal, that would be a higher priority. Obviously, places that are already untouched, where we can have a piece of land and just keep it, is the ideal, but we also sometimes get pieces of land that need to be restored. And so we have volunteers and staff that will go in and actually pull out non-native species and plant native species to try to restore it back to its natural state.
Now, how did all of this get started? Tell me about the history of the organization.
It's actually a really neat history. It's very grassroots. It was a group of friends that got together in 1988 that lived in Fallbrook, and they actually played tennis together. And they were sitting over lunch one day and talking about how Fallbrook was changing so quickly and so much land was being developed, and they wondered how much open space there was actually left in Fallbrook and if any of it was protected. And they found out that no, not much of it was. So they got together and started this organization. They mapped the whole town and figured out where there were places that would be appropriate to set aside.
And so now, with that being said, what are the current locations of the settings that you all are holding?
Well, we have over 2,000 acres of land in preserves that we own outright. And then we have another way of protecting land, which is called a conservation easement, which is sort of a legal umbrella over a piece of land that protects it in perpetuity. And so we own about 1,000 acres of conservation easements.
Wow. So tell me about the Village Green program. What is that?
The Village Green is my personal baby, so I'm very excited about that. It's a new program that we're doing that the goal of it is to promote our locally owned businesses and at the same time raise money for the Land Conservancy. So we partner with local businesses and they make it possible for their customers to donate back to the Land Conservancy 1% of their bill. And so they add, usually it's less than $1 of small change that they would just otherwise be spare change, gets added to their bill, and then those businesses consolidate those funds and remit them to the Land Conservancy. And so for the individual, it's a very small amount, but together it adds up to a lot of support for our
that's
organization.
great. So that's when you go through and maybe you say, do you want to round it up to a dollar, what have you? And so did you have to go to each of the businesses and to kind of get the...
Yes, I've been meeting a lot of business owners in Fallbrook, and we have a lot of amazing local businesses that have a hard time, and they get asked for donations all the time. And this is a way that it doesn't cost them anything and it benefits them, because then we go out, we do marketing for them, we tell our supporters to patronize those businesses because they really are community supporters.
And of course you want people to support you and get involved. I'm sure they can visit your website, is that correct?
Of course.
All right, very good, very good. Well, if other than that, I think it's incredible to see what's happening going through Fallbrook, but at the same time recognizing and knowing that this land is going to be preserved and that folks are working hard to make sure it happens.
Yes.
All right. Well, thank you for coming and sharing. I certainly appreciate it. And we'll see you again soon. All right.
Thank
All
you
right.
for having
Thank
me.
you. We're going to take a little break and then we'll be right back with our next guest.
There was an old woman who lived in a shoe. She had so many children, she didn't know what to do. She gave them some broth without any bread and kissed them all soundly and put them to bed. Hunger is a story we can end. End it at feedingamerica.org.
Hi, welcome back. We are here with our next guest, the West Coast Director of the Road Warrior Foundation, Kendall Madden. Welcome to the show.
Thank you very
Glad to
much.
have you here, Kendall. Well, first and foremost, thank you for your service. We were just talking, and you served in the Air Force, so just want to say thank you for your service to our country.
Thank you for your support. I appreciate it.
Yeah,
Means a lot.
certainly appreciate it. And so, of course, because of your service to our country, you are involved with this organization, yes?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, we started back in 2014. A group of us spanned from Seattle to Tampa in 10 days, 4,200 miles in 10 days, sponsored by Can-Am Spyder. It was fantastic, and we've been doing it ever since. Once a year, we get out and do a big ride cross country. Now we've backed it off. We're doing about 2,500 miles in 10 days, and it's fantastic.
Oh my gosh! And so, how do you even plan that out? I mean,
well, you know, it's actually pretty awesome. It's a group of volunteers. We're 100% nonprofit, all volunteer group. It's me and a bunch of military people who come through. You know, everyone has their specialty. I do a lot of the social media and help spread the word. Mm-hmm. We have pilots who do a lot of our route navigation. We have navigators who do our, you know, formation meetups with different riders and riders groups. So it's everyone brings in their specialty to make this happen.
Yeah, and of course there's a whole purpose behind this. So tell me about the purpose.
So the purpose is to get people out. We take out wounded veterans out of their comfort zone, and we put them in what's called adventure therapy. So. We take, you know, Can-Am Spyders. I'll give you an idea of one of my trips.
Okay.
We left Del Mar at 5 a.m. Mm-hmm. We drove up to Azusa. We did a 5-mile hike to the bridge in the middle of nowhere, did a bungee jump, another 5-mile hike, ride down to the coast and sunset surfing.
Oh my gosh.
That's a day. That's one day.
That's one day. Okay.
So
that's an adventure.
That's right. And what it is I get with veterans beforehand and I say, what do you want to do? San Diego is a wonderful environment. We have so many different climates, so I can go, hey, do you want to go to the desert? Do you want to go to the mountains? Do you want to go to the beach?
Yeah.
Where do you want to go? How do we want to build your adventure? I facilitate it for them to make it happen, and it's fantastic.
This is good.
This is amazing.
How long have you all been doing this?
Since 2014.
Wow.
Yeah, we've gone Seattle to Tampa, Montreal to Key West, Milwaukee to New Orleans. Last year was Austin, Texas to Charleston, South Carolina. I took that same bike that we went to Charleston, South Carolina, and came back to San Diego in 3 days, 1,000 miles a day. It was fun. And you know, we kick off trips once a month here in San Diego. It's pretty fantastic.
So what do you have coming up? Because what are some of the trips you have coming up? I want to know
coming
about
up,
that.
we got October 10th, we leave here, going up to San Jose. We depart San Jose October 12th. Go to Mammoth Lakes, then next day is Vegas, then a down day in Vegas, then South Rim, then Durango, then let's see, Santa Fe, New Mexico, going to Meow Wolf, then Lubbock, Texas, then we're ending in just north of San Antonio, Texas.
That's
another
incredible.
2,500-mile trip.
So for individuals who, let's say, for example, they know of a veteran that can really use this and get involved. So how do we send our loved ones to you?
We have every form of social media that you can think of. You can get at us on there. If you send us a message, it usually comes to me or a group of our volunteers. Answer it almost immediately. Roadwarrior.org is where you can find out all of our information, apply for our big rides. Our Instagram page at Road Warrior Foundation. You can apply for rides in San Diego right there. Takes you to a Google form. You fill out a couple of questions. We ask you your favorite movie and why you want to ride with us. So a couple other basic questions, and there you go. Come ride and get out there. It's all free of charge. Don't take a penny, and it's all...
Which means you need some support.
Absolutely.
So tell us how we can support you then.
Roadwarrior.org, or you find us on Facebook. We have active campaigns all over the place. We have awareness rides all across the country. It's not limited to just San Diego. This is all over the U.S.
Oh, very good. Well, thank you so much. You're taking it and making something very meaningful and memorable.
That's right.
And memorable. I appreciate it.
Long lasting. We want people to remember these trips and be something they talk about every day for the rest of their life.
Oh, I love it. I love it. Well, thank you so much. I certainly appreciate your work and what you're doing. You're still serving, which is a good thing.
That's right.
All right. Thank you so much. We're going to take a really quick break, and then we will be right back with our next guest. Hi, welcome back. Well, we are here with our last guest of our show today, Deborah Schinner. She is the Executive Director of Reins, and she's here to tell us a lot about Reins and what that means and how you're helping others. Welcome to the show, Deborah.
Thank you. Thanks so much for having me.
Glad to have you here, and I am just loving your hat.
Thank you very much. It's a necessity.
Is it? I know, because you're out in the sun.
Exactly.
Yes.
Exactly.
Holding reins.
Exactly.
So tell me about Reins and what you all do and how you're helping others.
Well, we're a unique form of therapy on horseback for disabled children and adults. And it's not just those that are born with disabilities, but those that have had accidents as well.
Oh, yeah.
So it's nice, probably of our 200 weekly students, probably 90% of them are in other forms of therapy.
Okay.
So when they can come out to a 10-acre facility in the sunshine and fresh air and do something typical, it's huge in their lives and the family lives.
Yes, I can only imagine. I can only imagine. And so, how did this even all come about? How did you come up with this entire concept?
Well, I didn't particularly come up with the concept.
Okay.
It started back in ancient Greece times.
Really?
But for the past 30 years, there's an organization called PATH, Professional Association of Therapeutic Horsemanship, that validated and set standards about how the horse is our tool, and it's the tool that strengthens the core.
Okay.
So it's not only a recreation, but it's a form of therapy as well to strengthen their core.
Really? Wow. And so how do the children find you all? How do they come to you?
Believe it or not, word of mouth. When these young parents find a therapy that will work, when they're told that their child will never walk, talk, or sit up, and it works, it travels by like wildfire.
So what are some of the activities that you all provide for them?
Well, we have, in our ring, we have stations set up. So they will go in and they will put rings on poles, circle barrels. Everything that a therapist would do in her therapy room, we do on top of that horse. And they love doing it. You know, I think we all know about animal therapy.
Yeah.
And they'll do it for the horse, not necessarily the instructor, but they'll do it for the horse and the love of the horse.
Well, you have your 22nd annual hoedown coming up,
Yes,
right?
I
Tell
do.
me about that.
Well, that is a hoot.
Okay.
It's dinner, dancing, and a show, so to speak. So we do it, it's on our 10-acre facility, and we have a country western band, we have a barbecue, and we do a riding demonstration. And we like to bring the community out onto our property so they can see what their funding does. So it's our biggest fundraising event of the year.
Now, tell me, where is your property located, just for folks so that
It's
they
in
know?
Fallbrook.
Okay.
It's about 10 miles inland from Oceanside,
Oh,
and we
nice.
serve all of San Diego County.
Yes. Oh, very, very good.
Yeah.
All right. So tell me, what are some of the benefits that folks, that the individuals that participate in this, what are some of the benefits of the therapy?
Well, the benefits are, which is huge for the families, is these parents get to see their child do something typical. They may never walk, talk, or sit up, but they can sure ride a horse. So it's neat for the other siblings of the family to see their brother or sister doing something typical. So that's number one. It is a recreation. But again, it's that movement of the horse that strengthens the core that helps them in their therapy.
So just the movement of the horse, and it's very natural then, because that's a natural movement. It's not some machine or something like that that's doing it.
Exactly.
Yeah.
The horse's pelvis and the human pelvis are the same. So when I put a quadriplegic or a paraplegic on the horse, they're getting that natural pelvic rotation that, quite frankly, nothing simulates in the therapy room.
Right.
So you need to be centered to ride, and you need to be centered to walk. So again, they're out in the sunshine and fresh air. We all know those therapy rooms get sterile and hospitals. So for them to come out into a 10-acre facility.
And of course, you need members and volunteers.
Yes.
Yeah. How can people get involved?
Huge volunteer base. Honestly, they're the heartbeat of our program. I couldn't do what we do without our volunteers.
Okay.
100 weekly volunteers in the course of the year, over 800 that come onto our property. We have a website, reinsprogram.org. Again, word of mouth. I've been very blessed over the years to have wonderful volunteers.
And they can even donate on your website too, is that correct?
Absolutely.
Yes.
You sure can.
Perfect.
You can
very
sponsor a horse, you can sponsor a child. It's on our website.
good. Perfect. Very
But I
good.
really encourage everybody to come out and visit.
I think that's going to sell.
It's a very magical place.
It is.
Yeah.
All right, Debbie, thank you so much.
Thank
I certainly
you for
appreciate
having
you
me.
coming
I
in.
really appreciate it.
All right, make sure you come back again, all right? Come back again now, you hear? All right, very good. Well, that's it for our show today. I am your host, Elaine Swan, the host of Oceanside Spectrum. Always make sure you join us, and I'll see you next time right here on KOCT.
This program was brought to you by Waste Management of North County and Oceanside, who are dedicated to serving customers and community as a safe, comprehensive service provider, a good corporate citizen, and a responsible environmental steward. Think green, think Waste Management.